Hi, I'm Mary Beth Stapleton, Manager of Family and Community Partnerships for Hartford County Public Schools. Welcome to the Parent Academy Real Talk, Spring into Summer, highlighting for parents summer opportunities in Hartford County. With me today is Becky Pincero, who's Coordinator of Supplemental Instruction. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for inviting me.
Well, it's so good to see you here, and we know that we know as Hartford County Public Schools how hard you work in the summer to make sure that our students have those supplemental instructional opportunities. So we want to highlight that for parents today. So first things first, what should parents know about the importance of summer learning and summer enrichment? We don't want to just totally check out, right? We need to kind of keep the learning going.
Right. So by participating in our summer learning programs at the elementary, middle, and high school level, students are able to continue focusing on those grade level skills and strategies and to better prepare them for the next school year, as well as avoid what we call that summer slide when students don't have instruction for extended period of time. So keeping the students up to date on the skills and concepts of their grade level, and then also preparing them for the next grade level in their sequence.
So they can start the new school year fully prepared to succeed. That's
Right.
great. And so what are the opportunities for summer learning? And we'll start with elementary school. I know by level we have different kinds of options. So I've heard the term priority students. Could you talk a little bit about what that means for parents?
Sure. So at the elementary level, we are offering summer learning for students in grades pre-K through 5. Each school has identified students as priority students who will get access to registration early this year. We did this last year as well at the elementary level, but based on student intervention data and student grades, report card grades, schools have identified students who they will be sending personal invitations to and will have early access to registration. So we're getting students who need to be in those seats the opportunity to register first. And then on May the 15th, it'll open up to everyone else with available seats that are left.
So as a parent, if there are available seats, you could have your child enroll if you feel like they need some additional instruction this
Correct.
summer. Very
Right.
good. Okay. And then thinking about the priority students, how is that communicating to parents? How are we sharing that information with parents?
So each student who will be receiving an invite from their school principal, they will get an actual email, phone call from their school principal outlining the invitation, the details, the registration. So they'll get the invitation, but the parent still has to go on and register.
Okay, so it's not just if you're invited, it's assumed you'll be there. You need to register.
Right. So it's a personal invitation, but you still have to register.
Got it. And then is it in all of the elementary schools or just a few?
So we have 4 sites this year. So we will be at Baylor Elementary School, Joppatown Elementary School, Deerfield Elementary, and George Lisby.
Okay. And then what about transportation?
So transportation is slated to be offered,
Okay.
but it's not 100% in stone
Got it.
until we have all the enrollments in, all the registrations to see who's going to be utilizing it to ensure that we have enough drivers to staff all of the routes. So,
Okay, so parents will be informed if they have it or if they need to bring their own.
Yeah, so during the registration process, they'll be asked if they would utilize it or not,
Okay.
and we'll use that data to base if we're able to offer it or not. So transportation will reach out to families before the program starts to let them know what their stop will be and if it will be offered. But it is important to note that the stop that students will be picked up in the summertime is not always the stop that they're picked up during the school year.
Oh, yeah, that's tricky.
So, yeah. So they really have to look out for that communication from the transportation office to see exactly where that stop is.
Okay. And then once they get to school, what are the experiences that they'll have? What kind of learning?
So elementary students will be focusing on language arts and mathematics.
Okay.
But we're also incorporating some fun camp activities in there.
Good.
So each site will have a theme. Last year they did camp, so all the activities were based around camp. So they'll do activities outside, they'll do arts and crafts activities, there'll be some social emotional learning within, because we have a counselor at each of our sites as well. So
And social emotional is managing emotions, helping kind of
Being
deal with
kind,
all of that.
things like that,
Yeah,
yes,
got it.
right.
Okay. Social skills,
Social
things like
skills,
that.
right.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then what's the start and end time for elementary?
So elementary starts at 8:30 and they end at 2:30.
Okay. Very
So,
good.
but back to transportation really quick.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes routes are a little bit longer, I just wanted to make it a point that sometimes students will be on buses longer than they would typically during the school year. So we have schools coming from all over at each of those 4 sites. So ride times may be long. So just to put it out there so parents are well aware. students could be on a bus for up to an hour, which is
Okay.
typically longer than they would during the school year.
And should families prepare to have lunches for kids, or are we going to have lunch available?
So meals will be provided,
Oh, great.
breakfast and lunch at the elementary level.
Wow, that's wonderful. Very good. And how about safety? Is there a nurse around if there's an issue?
There's a nurse on campus, and there's
Okay.
also a student safety liaison at each of our sites.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, so let's move on to middle. So what's available for middle schoolers?
So middle school, we're doing something a little bit different this year. We will be focusing on reading and mathematics, but we've incorporated a unified arts block into our schedule for middle school. So they'll be 7:30 to 11:30. So we'll have about an hour and a half for reading, hour and a half for math, and then we'll have about an hour or so because of transition times to choose a unified arts that they would like to explore this summer. So we will have physical education. So if students want to prepare for upcoming tryouts for middle school sports, they can focus on that. If they're not into athletics and they want to focus more on the arts, they'll be able to choose a rotation for the arts and music.
Great. And what are the locations for that?
So we will be at Bel Air Middle School and Edgewood Middle School.
Very good. And then
Yeah.
just thinking start time and end time again.
7:30 to 11:30.
Okay.
Transportation would be the same as elementary
Okay.
if it becomes available. Ride times will probably be a little bit longer as well. And they will be provided breakfast and a snack.
Very
at summer
good.
school.
So they'll have some kind of food, which is good.
Yes.
It's a long morning if they don't.
Yep.
And then let's talk a little bit about high school. Again, you know, knowing some of our high school students might need, I've heard the term credit recovery if they don't, you know, they didn't do well in a class. They need to make sure they're on track for graduation. Talk a little bit about what's available at the high school level to help those students.
Sure. So our high school program focuses mostly on credit recovery.
Okay.
So students who have not been successful during the school year in a course, they have the opportunity to come to summer school and make up that credit. So it keeps them on track for graduation, going into the next grade level. So we'll be offering credit recovery courses at Bel Air High School and Aberdeen High School this year. Transportation, same thing. If it's available, longer, you know, probably ride times. 7:30 to 11:30, just like the middle school schedule. And then we'll also be provided breakfast and a snack.
So when you're enrolling for any of these options for your child or registering, do you choose the school that you want to have your child go to, or does that happen in your office?
No, so you're able to choose the site, and this goes for elementary, middle, or high.
Okay.
If you choose a site that's outside of your districted area for summer school, so there's a chart on the registration site.
Okay,
And
we'll
it'll
put that link up.
outline.
Yeah.
And we'll put that link up right on this video. But there's a chart, and it says, like, if my child goes to Forest Lakes Elementary School, it'll be in a chart of list of all the schools that would report to Bel Air Elementary School.
Okay.
So if they choose the site that they're districted for summer, they are eligible for transportation. They can pick any site they want, but if they're outside of that districted zone, they will not receive transportation if it's available.
Well, and families might choose that. So,
Yeah.
for example, on your commute to work, you might prefer another school because it's an
Right.
easier drop off for you.
Yeah,
Very good.
absolutely.
Or you have a grandparent that can pick up in the afternoon close by. That makes perfect sense.
And they can do that for elementary, middle, or high. They can go
Okay.
anywhere that they choose, but transportation would be that.
Very good. And then I know we have a lot going on with HCPS, and gosh, you know, it's interesting because I think sometimes parents think we totally shut down in the summer, but not Miss Pincero and her team. They're working hard. Hopefully you get a vacation at some point. But that said, we know there's other community experiences for our families that we wanted to share. So if you could talk a little bit about what your office has created for the community, that would be great.
Yeah, so our office has taken all of the summer programs and camps around Harford County, Cecil County, and Baltimore County and compiled them into one document, which can also be found at the link here. And it just outlines, it's a one-stop shop for parents. So all of the camps and programs that we could find, we put all in this document, and parents can go on and click through, and it's separated by age level and cost. And there's links right in there for parents to jump over to see if those camps are something that their child would be interested
Well,
in.
that's so convenient. So you can try to think about what are those other experiences that you can offer. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know you're working hard to get ready. And like I said, I hope you get a break. And thank you for joining us for Parent Academy Real Talk Spring into Summer. We'll see you next time.